Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now we're going to get Boko to crack on his makeup and put some windows into his own body, and we're going to have a review. Now I'm pretty excited for this one. This is my first Bachmann model of any type, and I'm really happy to be back doing some reviews after a weird sort of couple of years. You know, there's been a lot going on, but we won't go into that. So Daisy arrived today. I bought it from Untitled Chapter, which I have to say, it's just a fantastic service from start to finish. I've been sort of looking on their page for a while, lurking in the shadows, and I had to pull the trigger on Daisy. So Daisy, as you know, you've probably got loads of these things, comes in this vacuum packaging, which I have to say is probably my biggest bugbear of all, because, you know, it's a £90 model. Yeah, it looks great presentation-wise, but you want a box that you can put it back into, and probably loads of creators have probably said this, but for 90 quid and a nice model, you know, you want to put it in a box where you can put it in and out of the box, you know, you can put it on display, you know, things of a decent value should come in a decent box. Like when we buried my grandfather, we didn't just chuck him in the ground, we put him in a nice box. So you end up having to slit the packaging like this. I could have done it neater, I'm very aware of that, but hey ho, that's the way it is. So Daisy's quite a heavy model, and I have to say I was really worried about the windows. I thought they're all sort of steamed up like two teenagers having sex in a dark car park, but I'm not really bothered. The face looks fantastic. Bear in mind that I'm sort of the model series era from when I was a child. I've never sat down and watched any CGI stuff. She's quite a heavy model as well, but come on, she does look brilliant. I don't think the picture, sort of the render picture, does her justice. The face is great. When I first saw it, I was thinking these eyes aren't going to move because it looks molded to me. But hey, you know, I do wear glasses, but we'll forgive that. So yeah, she was quite heavy. I was surprised at that. I was expecting some sort of light model, because I've heard a lot of people sort of complain about Bachmann, Thomas & Friends models being really light. So you just got to bear with me here. A lot has changed on the layout. We had a water leak from the roof in the front room, on top of a lot of other things that have gone wrong. So we had to dismantle everything, have new floorboard. It's just been an absolute nightmare. But I did manage to get the circle of first radius down for this review. Now bear in mind, a lot of people will say that first radius is probably not a good idea for many sort of bigger trains than say Percy here, like your 040 and stuff like that. But being as she's sort of double bogies, I wasn't really worried, to be honest with you, and I was expecting her to run great. So we got her down onto the track, and the first thing I noticed was she was quite quiet. Not the quietest, but fairly quiet compared to some of the models I've bought of recent. And first radius curves mean nothing to this model. It doesn't even phase it. It just runs fantastic, and I really do like the face. I think, you know, I've seen some of the other models, like Thomas. I don't know, he looks like he's got some sort of weird meth addiction. You can see my Hornby Percy in the background there. Obviously this is pre-running, so at this point, like the footage, I haven't run her in, so she will get 20 minutes either way later on in the video. But for straight out the box, you know, she runs very well. And I didn't know what to expect. As I say, I've never had a Bachmann model, never had a Bachmann Thomas & Friends model. I'm not going to go into how they put it together and what the easiest way to service it is. I'm one of those people who likes to buy something and I just want it to work. You know, I've bought recent stuff, it'd be like Dapple wagons that fall over and things that wobble. I was one of those poor saps who bought the Dapple water towers which catch fire. But anyway, so the points, that's a first radius curve into a points, which is something you shouldn't really do. She's not bothered. Doesn't even stop for the points. There is no stuttering, absolutely nothing. Now I know Daisy, and you guys know, she doesn't want to pull anything because she's highly sprung. But we've got her on Percy's mail train here at a low speed. First radius curve. Now one of the big problems with first radius is if you have wagons with NEM couplings and sort of smaller couplings, they don't tend to work that well, and the longer the train you get, it does tend to force derailments. So to be honest with you, all right, it's not the longest train, but I was kind of expecting some sort of derailments to happen here. But absolutely nothing. As you can see, the wall in the background, you can still see where the wall is drying from the water. What an absolute pain in the ass. And I'm one of those, look at those eyes, having a little look around. I'm one of those people who, I will give products shit where I think they deserve it. I won't sugarcoat it. I won't be like, oh, that's fantastic. If you've watched any of my recent stuff, as a Hornby fan, I've been giving them hell recently, and a couple of people have been upset and just posting all over my videos. But you've got to give praise where praise is due, and I think, you know, you can be honest if you're not happy with the product. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Daisy's fantastic if I think she's a load of crap. And she's brilliant, I gotta be honest. It's very, very... I'm sure there'll be creators out there who are going to knock it down. But I think she looks brilliant. Other than the windows, I would have liked them to be clear, but I'm sure there's motors and mechanisms and all sorts of stuff inside her. Come on, doesn't she look great there? You gotta be honest. I know this was highly anticipated and a lot of people were looking forward to it. And to be honest, there haven't been many Bachmann sort of Thomas & Friends ones. I thought, I've got to get that. Most of my collection is sort of Hornby ones. Although I did thin it out recently because they were just sitting there and I thought, oh God. You know, they're quite old models, but we've got Percy Thomas. I've still got Edward. And I've got Dart as well, Hornby Dart, so he's quite rare. But he is a bit faulty, he's stuttering. I think he needs some attention. So as you can see there, that's on her full speed, and on first radius curve, she has a tendency to tip. So if you are thinking to yourself, right, I'm going to put her on full whack on my first radius layout, and you've got quite a big drop to the floor, don't do it. Luckily, she didn't fall off. As you can see here, I've got a new table next to it, so I'm going to be building it up. So we're going to keep it first radius, because that's quite integral to my channel. I know a lot of people come here for the first radius, but it's going to be more of an L-shaped first radius. It's still only just over 2 foot wide, so that's great. But yeah, she's just a marvellous model, really. I think they put a lot of effort into it. I don't begrudge so much paying the £90 for it now. I know it's a lot, but let's be honest, at this point, are these really toys for children? They know who their market is. It's for the adult. I'd be surprised if many adults out there are going to grab Daisy for 90 quid. I don't know what she is in the States. And they're going to go give it to the little child to throw around on the floor and all the rest of it. It's not going to happen. I can't see it happening unless you're absolutely crazy. So one thing I wanted to test, I wanted to test it for all you guys who are probably watching this, is we're going to give her a longer chain. So we've got the male chain, and I just quickly grabbed some coaches. Annie and Garbells. So we're giving her a fairly long chain. Now this is where first radius tends to become a problem, a huge problem. So I wanted to see how she would run. We're at a slow speed at the moment. There's no derailments. She to be honest, I think this loco is quite strong. I can imagine it could probably pull twice this on a normal second and third radius curves, but on first radius curves, I'm not so sure. Although I will test it in the future. And if there's one thing that's good that's come out of this, is that maybe I will buy a few more Bachmann Thomas & Friends models, ones that I like, ones I don't know anything about, for the future. But yeah, she's more than happy pulling this sort of chain on first radius. We didn't have any derailments, we didn't have any stopping on points, we haven't had any problems. So we've got her up a bit more speed now, no problems at all, which is one of the biggest things that I sort of worry about. Certain locos are just not made to work on first radius, but still will, and some are just not made to work on first radius and definitely won't, especially when you add rolling stock. Like, some will work perfectly fine, and then you add rolling stock and that's it, your derailments all day long. But we've got up to speed here, no problems at all. She's running fantastic, she's pulling the rolling stock. I should really have got one of the milk tankers out, but I didn't think about it because it's been a crazy busy day and I wanted to get this out there. And it's really nice to come back and be making content again. I know a lot of people have subscribed recently and sort of come to the channel, and I appreciate that, and I want to get back to it. But yeah, we've had a big sort of 2 years of like, new floorboards and walls and all kinds of stuff. Not that you don't want to know all that stuff, but it gives you an idea of where I've been. So fantastic little model. If you do have 90 quid to spare, I know it's a lot at the moment with everything that's going on. She's definitely worth it. Look at it, absolutely brilliant model, I have to say. And I can overlook the windows. I couldn't find any other faults with it. I'm so glad she came with her white buffers. I'm sure if I look at the CGI version, she probably looks closer to that. But to be fair, would I want her with big long eyelashes on stuck to her face and a bit heavier makeup like the original model one? Probably not. So this is kind of a nice compromise. And I think I would have been happy paying 80 quid, which I think she'll settle down into, but for a new release, and especially as they're imported. For anyone who's watching this in the UK, they're not available in the UK. The way that toy laws are over here are totally different from what they are in like the States. So the Thomas & Friends models that Bachmann have here is like the starter, sort of your main sort of cast, and they have to be made differently. So Totally Thomas, which is cracking name, I have to say, they bring over all the ones as they come out, and there's a lot bigger sort of, they've got a lot more available. I think over here there's just Toby, James Gordon, Thomas, the horrendous looking Percy. If you want to scare yourself to sleep, go look at that. And a few other bits and bobs, but obviously in the States there's a massive cast. I'm not going to name them all, so I've just popped here a little picture at the end, and I hope you've enjoyed this quick fire review. I didn't want to drag this out. Nobody wants to go into all details. The things you want to know is, does it work? Is it worth the money? And if you're like me, who likes first radius, because I've got quite a small room in the front room, you want to know, will she run on first radius? Yes, it ticks all the boxes. I think they can be really, really proud of this one, I have to say. Obviously, I'm not biased because I don't have any of their other models of any type. So if this was awful, you know me, if you've been watching my channel, I'll tell you straight up. I would tell you it's terrible. But I think it's brilliant. I really do. You know, I might have a look at some of the other characters. The thing is, as a child, I only grew up between sort of series 1 and I'd say 4. So a lot of these characters, I sort of like Rosie and things like that, they're not really characters I'm sort of have any affiliation to or any sort of love for. But, you know, I'll look into them. You know, I liked Mavis as a kid, and I do know there is that, as Mavis is available, so maybe we'll go for that. But some of the Batman ones, not so much, like Percy and Thomas, they don't look right. They look, I don't know what their faces look like, and I think they've been making them long now that they should rectify them. If these new models are as good looking as they are, it'd be nice if they just pop back and they sort of redid a bit on the old ones. But if you have enjoyed, please consider popping the subscription onto the channel. You don't have to watch everything, but it helps me know if you're enjoying it and what to make videos on. The train set ones do very well, and people seem to like that, and I'm a big fan of a train set. If you've watched, like or dislike, whatever you want to do, just lets me know what we like. And I'm gonna have a giveaway soon. There's gonna be no strings attached giveaway. There's no cost in it. We're not involved in Patreon. We're not doing any of that. But it'll be a small giveaway just to, you know, thank you, because the channel did grow quite and double in numbers while I was away from making videos. So I appreciate that, you know. And hopefully I've rambled on enough, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.